This conference
All right,
will
good
now be
morning, everyone.
recorded.
Morning.
It is already October 4th. It is by the circus here at 10 o'clock a.m. So I'm going to call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Special Magistrate hearing for this morning. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate presiding over this morning's hearing. The first order of business is if you are here on behalf of any of the items on today's agenda, I need you to stand and raise your right hand for me. I'm going to swear everybody in at the same time. Thank you all. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you all. With that, it looks like we have several what appear to be violation hearings on the agenda this morning. So the way the process works is when you hear your case called, come to the podium here. The town will present its case first. They will present any evidence and testimony that they'd like me to hear. You will then, when they're finished, have an opportunity to present any evidence you have, cross-examine any witnesses that the town puts on, and at the end of that, I'll make a final ruling. You have all been sworn in. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, so just remember that all your testimony this morning is given under oath. And with that, I will turn it over to the town. Just for the record, I did review the April 5th, 2022 minutes, and those are acceptable, so I'll adopt those as drafted. With that, I'll turn it over to the town.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christy Gell on behalf of the Town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, the first case on today's agenda is case 2022-011. Property address is 6080 Old Ocean Boulevard in the Town of Ocean Ridge. Do we have any respondents here for 6080 Old Ocean? Okay, Your Honor, can we perhaps just continue it to see if anyone shows up? All right, so we'll continue this one. The next item on today's agenda is case number 2022-012. Property address is 23 Coconut Lane. Do we have a respondent present? Okay, Your Honor, we'll ask to continue that one till a respondent shows up. The next case is item D on today's agenda, case 2022-013. Property address is 11 Harbor Drive South in the Town of Ocean Ridge. Do we have a respondent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, the information is provided in the file. The property owner of record are listed as Scott Codell and Christel Codell. As I said, the property is at 11 Harbor Drive South in the Town of Ocean Ridge. The nature of the violation in this case is Code Section 6751, work without permits. This case was initiated on September 2nd of 2022, where the building official issued a stop work order. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was issued on September 23rd, 2022, with 10 days to comply. It was served by posting at the property and in town hall with attempts at mailing. The town is recommending 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. And we have the building official, Doreen Guy, here to testify.
Thank you very much, Attorney Cordell. Good morning, Magistrate. The work was noticed during our routine inspection from the public way. We had noticed that there was a pool at the reference property, 11 Harbor Drive South. That there was extensive work being done on the pool. Rebar appeared to be a remodeling of the pool. And when we checked our town records, there were not the required permits on file. Stop work order was posted at the location. Officer McAllister and I actually reached out to the owner of the property and explained to him that the level of work that is being undertaken does require a permit. And the client was given 14 days to apply for a permit and to have an issued permit within 28 days. And as of today, we do not have an application for a permit for a renovation of the pool at this property. Thank you.
So as of today, no application has been submitted to the town?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. Your name for the record?
My name is Gertrude Hickson.
And what is your relation to the property?
The owner has hired Hickson Pool Service to.
And spell your name just so I get it right. Is it?
Hixon.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So you're the contractor?
I am the permit coordinator.
Okay, permit coordinator, thank you, ma'am.
So as I was saying, the owner has hired us to do the work. We have to get engineering drawings in order to pursue what we have to do. So right now, we are in the process with the engineer to get it done. The engineer has told us that it would give him another 2 weeks because he's overwhelmed. And after that, we apply for the permits. So I'm just asking if we could get another 30 days or something like that, because I don't know. Just, Barry, I have my emails, but it's on my phone to show that I'm in process with the engineer.
Okay, that's sufficient, your verbal testimony is sufficient. Mr. Guy, let me just ask you, there's a photo in here of doors with tape on them. Is there anything having to do with the doors that requires permitting, or is that just,
No, there is no issue with the doors.
so it's just the pool?
Just-
whatever the renovation to the pool is?
Yes.
And I guess if I could ask the town attorney, I don't think we have a hard file, but can you show her these documents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe if you can pull them on the screen, that's even better. And just scroll. Can you see those documents, ma'am? Those are the documents that the town is asking to put into evidence for this hearing. It's the notice documentation for today, the stop work
Oh, I
order.
don't have that.
Yeah, they don't have to give you copies, they have them here today. She's gonna scroll through them in pictures of the alleged violation
Okay, I see the pool.
and pictures of the posting.
I don't know about the doors, only just the pool that he has hired us to.
And the building official just testified that that photo of the door, there's nothing having to do with the door.
Okay,
It's
but it's just the
it's just
pool.
the pool, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So do you have any objection to those documents?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I'll admit into the record composite exhibit 1 without objection. So what the town is asking for is for you to comply within 30 days, so that would be on or before November 4th. Yeah, November 4th is a Friday. Does that sound like a reasonable time for you to have your engineer if he's 2 weeks out, and then the town's permitting process
And
is
then I don't know
fairly
how long the
quickly?
town processing period would take.
Well, it's right now we actually have an application for a permit. So once the application is received, that will
That's
satisfy the
compliance.
violation.
Okay,
Okay, he has provided me with an application, but I cannot put in the application without drawings.
okay, but what he's saying is that you don't even have to be issued the permit, so long as you apply for the permit, that's
Okay.
sufficient within that 30 day.
So, yeah, I think we can comply with it.
Okay. And just so the record is clear, that'll be submit a full.
Your Honor, why don't we provide 45 days, since they are working on it, just to make sure she has a little extra time in case the engineer gets further backed up. We would change our recommendation to 45 days,
Appreciate
just
that.
to give you a little extra time.
Okay, so roughly that's November 18th, does that work? That's another 2 weeks. Is that sufficient for the town?
That is, thank you.
And still submission of a complete application is enough for the town to comply her out?
Yes, yes, sir.
Anything further, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Anything further from the town?
Do we have costs in this case? Mr. Guy, do we have costs that we're seeking in this case?
I don't see them in here. Do you want to take a moment and calculate them since there's no fine assessment hearing that we come back to?
Okay, maybe we should. Could we have a 5-minute recess?
Maybe ask a 5-minute recess, okay.
Yeah, what they need is they're missing one piece of paper they need to complete right now, so are you okay to stay here for 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So with that, we'll take a brief recess for 5 minutes. It's 10:10 right now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This
With that, we will
conference
call
will
back to
now
order
be
the special
recorded.
magistrate hearing. It's 10:20. The town has presented me with the cost recovery sheet for this morning's hearing. They're asking for a cost in the amount of $202.06 for the hearing this morning.
When that should be.
Typically within 30 days is what the order will reflect. So with that, I'll enter this cost recovery sheet into the composite exhibit 1. Okay, so with that, in case 2022-013, I'll find that based on the evidentiary case file handed to me, the testimony of town staff, that there was good and sufficient legal notice for this morning's hearing based on the affidavit of posting for the property. I'll find that based on the testimony given here today, as well as the evidentiary case file, that there is in fact a violation of section 67-51 and amendments to the Florida Building Code at 105.1 for work to the pool done without a permit, as evidenced in the pictures based on testimony of the building official. I'll require that the respondents comply with the named code sections by November 18th of 2022. In the event that you do not comply, and in this case compliance is submitting a complete building permit application. So if you don't comply by that November 18th date, a fine will automatically start running the next day of $100 per day. So make sure, it sounds like you have plenty of time to get it done. Make sure you get it done. And then I will award, because I found violation, the town is entitled to have its administrative costs awarded, so I'll award the town its administrative costs in the amount of $202.06 payable within 30 days of the date of the order. And with that, you'll get an order in the mail, but you don't have to come back. Just make sure you submit the permit, the complete application, and you're complied out by the town. Otherwise, that fine will still start running. So thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, item number E has been removed from today's agenda. We're moving on to item number F. This is case 2022-014. This is for the property at 40 Douglas Drive, the town of Ocean Ridge. Do we have any respondents here for 40 Douglas Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can come to the podium, sir.
Your Honor, the property appraiser shows that Keith Mendel is the owner of this property. The nature of this case is work without a permit. The case was initiated on August 5th of 2022, when the building official issued a stop work order. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was issued on September 22nd of 2022 with the compliance date of October 3rd of 2022. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was posted at the property with mailing attempted. The town is seeking, is recommending that the property owner be found in violation and be given 45 days to come into compliance, failing which a fine of $100 per day, plus the town's costs. And we have the building official, Doreen Guy, here to testify.
Thank you. Your Honor, as our attorney stated, on August 5th is when we noticed that there was activity happening at the location. There was a vehicle and a few workmen at the site, and they were moving drywall, wood, and there was sounds of construction, banging, and tools. When we inquired, we understood that they were doing some repairs to the unit. When we inquired of what was being done, we realized the work that was being done required a permit. It was removal and replacements of cabinets and shower that was being repaired. And I do believe the work also stated that they had some drywall issues, possibly due to flooding. We had issued a stop work order, and Mr. Mandel here has been very cooperative. I have to state that. He actually invited us to do a walkthrough at the location on August 9th, which when most of the internal pictures were taken. And he showed to us the work that was necessary. And we explained to him what was necessary to have a permit applied for and issued. He has applied for a permit. However, there's a hang-up where he needed an engineer to do some work for him, similar to the previous client. And, the application is being processed. However, we do need some engineering documents that, he has agreed to furnish. However, he's having some difficulties. So I guess he'll be able to explain, the hang-up he's having, why we weren't able to complete that permit, which is here and just pending, awaiting those documents. Thank you.
Your name for the record, sir?
Keith Mendel.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, originally, what I was doing in there is taking some the cabinets in the kitchen and also in the bathroom that were, very dated and, water stained and death. So I was removing them, and of course you have to remove the plumbing fixtures. I'm a state licensed plumbing contractor. So, and the shower was, the walls were, kind of spongy or whatever, so I was gonna remove that and replace. To replace some cabinets, like I said, I'm a state licensed plumbing contractor. I do work all over. I've done many jobs in the town of Ocean Ridge, actually. And so I'm very familiar with what to do as far as permitting, et cetera. And the way I saw it, taking some cabinets and putting new cabinets in, I didn't see that being an issue, but it was. I did, Mr. Guy and then Officer Mac came through, and then we went through the whole thing. And so I got a list of plan review comment sheets, and there was a total of 9.
Mhm.
I have addressed 7 of them.
Okay.
The last 2 are engineering.
Okay.
I'm having a major problem, and I'm in the business. The engineers are so freaking backed up. I was able to get with somebody, and they said they will be able to help me. And hopefully it's going to be within the next couple weeks. But I'm asking for at least 45 days, just because, this depends on him. Everything else has been addressed,
Mm-hmm.
other than these 2 things. And like I said, that's all about engineering.
Okay.
And I've already went in for, and put in my notice of commencement and all that kind of stuff through, So, I'm just asking, I need a little time, due to the engineering.
Okay. If I could ask the town clerk to pull up the files again here and show him, she's gonna show you up on the screen the documents that the town is trying to enter into evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the notice documents for this morning's hearing, the code sections,
Yes, ma'am.
the tax collector, I think it's a tax collector printout there,
Okay.
and photos of the alleged violation.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to those documents?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Miss, one other thing is
Go ahead.
when Mr. Guy told me that, that I was not allowed to do any more work, or I didn't do anything else. And then when I met with him one more time, I asked him, I said, can I at least clean the outside stuff up, that was freaking piled up, and he did give me permission to do that. Other than that, that's the only thing I've done.
Okay. All right, with that, I'll enter into the record composite exhibit 1 without objection, which will also include the cost recovery sheet, which is requesting costs in the amount of $202.06 for this morning's hearing. So what the town is asking for is for you to comply within 45 days, so that's by November 18th. That sounds like a reasonable time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything further?
Is there any possible way, just in case, I can get an extra 15? I mean, there's a good chance that it will happen. But I would hate for, him to say, listen, I ran into a problem, and, because like I said, everything is predicated on him. And I've talked to 4 engineers, and like I said, I am in the business, so it's just very tough right now.
Does the town have any objections, since he's in the permit process already, with giving him till December 2nd? Which is an additional 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're okay with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You showed up to the hearing, you've been very responsive, so we'll accommodate your request.
Thank you.
Anything further from you, sir?
No, ma'am.
Anything further from the town?
I think we've submitted our costs.
Yes, ma'am, I have it here. Yep,
Okay.
20206 is the amount.
Miss, for the 202, is that just because for today?
Yeah, legally, if and when I find you in violation, which I'm gonna find you based on the photos here and on your own testimony, the town is entitled to recover its costs to have this morning's hearing, so, that's,
I'll pay that right now.
okay. They may, I don't know if they'll take your money right now, they may want an order first, but we'll need to get with them on that.
Okay, that's fine.
In case 2022-014, I'll find first that based on the evidentiary case file that was entered, that the notice for this morning's hearing was good. I'll find based on the testimony of town staff as well as the evidentiary case file and testimony of the respondent, that there is in fact a violation of section 67-51 and amendments to the Florida Building Code at 105.1, which require a building permit for the work that was done to the drywall and the interior of the structure. I'll require the respondent to comply with those sections of the code by December 2nd of 2022. And the way that the town's process works is if you don't comply by that date, the fine will start running the next day, and I'll assess a fine of $100 per day until you achieve compliance. I don't think you're gonna get there. It sounds like you're gonna get this all worked out before then. And because I have found you in violation, I will award the town its administrative costs in the amount of $202.06 payable within 30 days of the date of the order, and you will get an order in the mail that says all of this, so you have it for your records. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jordan, do you want to move forward with the current cases that we don't have respondents for, or do you want to consider continuing those to see if we get a response on the new ones? I'm sorry? Yeah, just to make sure that it's secure.
Your Honor, going back to the top of today's agenda, I believe we have two cases where we don't have respondents available. The town would like to actually continue both cases to see perhaps if we can get a response from the respondents. So we'd like to continue both of those for 30 days to our next hearing date. So this would be case 2022-011 at 6080 Old Ocean. And case 2022-012, property address 23 Coconut Lane, to our November hearing date.
Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah, November 1st. Let me just look at this service quickly for this morning. So in case 2022-011, you have an affidavit of posting dated September 23rd. So with that good service for this morning's hearing, I'll grant the town's request and issue an order granting a continuance and continue this to a violation hearing on November 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
And then, let's see. (2022-12), it looks like is a citation case.
Yes. And then the town issued the NOV, NOH.
Okay, I see, subsequent to that, okay. Okay, you also have an affidavit of posting dated August 17th, so with that good service for this morning's hearing, I'll grant the town's again request and issue a order granting continuance, continuing the violation hearing to November 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Seeing no other items on the agenda, is there anything further from the town?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, we'll adjourn at 10:35.
Thank you.